right. Hey guys, good morning and welcome. Happy Monday. My name is Elizabeth. I'm your instructor. You're in a Pilates inspired fitness class, and for props today, we're going to use dumbbells. So let's grab those dumbbells and get this party started right now. So let's come on to all 10 tippy toes, dumbbells in hand, palms facing in, lower one heel, bend an elbow, come on to all 10 tippy toes and switch and switch and switch. Continue, and this is a terrific way to warm up the body with this simple move, which is called Pilates Prancing, by the way, with alternating biceps curls. I'd like to request of you to keep your workout with me today pain-free. So, as always, comfortably uncomfortable is okay, but pain is not. So anytime if you're feeling stabbing pain, shooting pain, joint pain, structural pain, anything like that, please stop what you're doing, which is causing those sensations, and do something different so you are no longer feeling those sensations. It's super important to me that my students feel better after class, not worse, and I need your help with that. So please listen to your body and take care of your sweet body. All right, guys, breathing, noticing if you're starting to feel an increased sense of urgency to breathe, hollowing out that belly, keeping those shoulders down and back for 4 and 3, 2 and 1. Come to center. Swing those arms from side to side. Take a move I call Lady in a Park. Notice how this feels. We'll revisit this move a few times in class, and I want you to begin to notice if it feels different. All right, and then come to center. Let's reach those arms into a goalpost position. Take an inhale as you exhale. Reach those arms overhead, kicking one knee into tabletop, lower and switch and continue. All right, guys, as we're going through this range of motion, you guys continue. I want you to think about keeping those shoulders down and back, super far away from those ears. Yeah, so it's almost like there's a teeter-totter effect where as those arms go overhead, those shoulders drop. And as those elbows come out to the side, those shoulders drop even more. So really focusing on dropping those shoulders down and back, navel tucked to the spine. It's funny, there's a Pilates class in the big studio right now. And a couple of people are just running in, like literally running in a little bit late. Breathing. Hi. So I'm filming live from Corktown Pilates at Rancho Mission Viejo right now. All right, guys. So hollowing out that belly, keeping those shoulders down and back for 5 and 4, 3. Feeling that warmth in your shoulders, 2. And the next time you have a knee in tabletop, doesn't matter which, pause. Reach those arms into a goalpost position. So think about your body being full of right angles. Your arms are in a right angle, the shoulders are down, and that knee is straight out from the hip, and that leg is also in a right angle. Okay, if that's not available to you, of course, just tap those toes down anytime. Woo, okay, so static hold. You should be feeling a lot going on right now, and a balance challenge. Let's sweep those forearms together and open, and do it again, and continue. This move always reminds me of playing peekaboo with the toddler. Breathing, navel tucked to the spine, sweeping those elbows open and closed. Woo, for 4, 3, 2. The next time those arms are in goalpost, pause. Let's reach one arm overhead, lower, other arm overhead, lower. Notice how this makes the balance challenge more challenging. Woo, for 4 and 3. Looking good, guys. I feel like we're climbing monkeys. And 2 with the upper body. And 1, and come to center. Nice job. Again, notice the warmth you're feeling in the shoulder area and the quadricep of the leg that you had in space. Let's balance that out. Arms in goalpost. Other knee in tabletop. Hollowing out that belly. Navel tucked to the spine. Dropping those shoulders, finding all those right angles. Okay, not wrong angles, right angles. Okay, and then let's sweep those forearms together and open and do it again. By the way, if this movement is starting to aggravate your shoulders, maybe your dumbbells are a little too heavy for this, just come into a biceps curl, keeping those arms closer to your body. Or you can get rid of the dumbbells. So remember, always modifying at any time, no big deal to modify. and it's encouraged. Oh, feeling this quite a bit. For 2, the next time those arms are open, pause. All right, find that strong, stable balance because we're going to challenge it by moving unilaterally. And breathe again. Whoa. Yep. By the way, as you're going through this range of motion, your body's getting a little tired, so it might be easy to come into some poor posture. So let's think about that good posture and breathe. Whoa. Did I mention? Whoa. For 3, you guys look awesome. I'm loving it. And 2, and 1, come to center and lower down. Well done. Swing those arms from side to side. Ooh, already this feels quite a bit different. My shoulders feel quite a bit looser, lubricated. We literally make lubrication in our joints when we move them. It's called synovial fluid. So that's kind of cool. For 2, and 1. All right, pull those elbows back. Okay, just in pulling those elbows back and dropping those shoulders, you should feel a nice stretch across here. So that's on purpose. And when we stretch these muscles, that lends to better posture. Okay, then keep those elbows super far back behind you. Straighten those arms, kick one leg back, bend the elbows while you're keeping those elbows super far away from you, and switch, and continue. Really think about jutting your chest out forward, hollowing out that belly, keeping those elbows super far back. So we're coming into a triceps extension here. So you should begin to feel the backs of those arms. In just a moment, we're going to add on, but of course, you can continue with this version. But first, let's think about our form. So we want those elbows super far back in space, those shoulders super far away from those ears. And you're breathing. Also, continue. We want this bottom rib super far away from the hip bone. So that's a really good way to think about improving your posture, is just so as we have poor posture, this space decreases, but with our good posture, it increases. So we're going to keep that increased. Okay, so maybe this is all you want. If you want a little bit more, the next time you have that left leg back, pause. Then with those arms straight back behind you, shoulders down back, take an inhale. As you exhale, let's lean forward and come up to center. And then we'll kick the other foot back, reach those arms back behind, lean forward and come up to center. And continue in this manner, alternating from side to side. Breathing. Yep. Coming into that balance challenge, as you lean one foot back, or kick one foot back rather, give that back booty cheek a squeeze. Woo! Feeling this quite a bit in the back body. So a moment ago, we were targeting the front of the body, right? We were getting the quadriceps, and then we were getting the chest. And now we're targeting the backs of the arms, the back, the booty area, and the backs of the thighs, also known as the hamstring. So targeting lots of the back body area and balance. Oh, for 4 and 3. It's funny, feeling this quite a bit in the triceps area. Well, I guess it's not funny, it's expected, but yeah, feeling it quite a bit. I guess what's funny about it, guys, is that our arms are pretty much in a static hold. Just as we lean forward, those muscles are activated more, which is an interesting sensation. So it's like we're recruiting and relaxing those muscles slightly, just going through a range of motion with other parts of the body, while keeping that portion of the body still. So it's kind of an interesting sensation. I guess that's why my brain thought it was funny. All right, I know, super long set for 2. And 1, and come to center. Oh my gosh. Let's swing those arms from side to side. Yeah, I'm feeling it too. Going for those really nice defined arms for 2 and 1, and come back to center. Let's come into a Pilates V. That means the heels are touching, the toes are a few inches apart, and our knees are tracking over our toes. Yeah, arms open to the side. Palms facing forward, softness in the elbows, open chest, shoulders down and back. Take an inhale as you exhale. Let's bend the knees, hug a big imaginary tree, open, and do it again, and continue. So those of you who have been with me in the studio on the reformer, this would be like having the toes on the foot bar with the arms open wide to a T, palms facing up, hugging a tree. But in a standing position, it's more like a ballerina type move with a plie in first position, if I'm remembering correctly, moving the arms from second position to first position. I actually took ballet when I was a young girl. And breathe for 4, and 3, 2, and the next time you're down, let's stay down. Okay, guys, then let's keep our head where it is. So we're not going to lift and lower our head in space, but let's just lift and lower those heels and continue. All right, and then adding on, as we lift those heels, let's reach those arms overhead and lower down and do it again and continue. Oh, breathing. I hear the phone ringing. Again, I'm recording live from a studio, and obviously someone's calling. All right, anyways, shoulders down and back, navel tucked to the spine, lifting and lowering those heels. Oh, feeling lots of muscles for 4, and 3, and 2. Okay, guys, next time we're on those tippy toes, pause. Keeping those palms facing each other or facing up, we'll open and close, open and close, and continue. So I frequently tell you about keeping those hands below the shoulders when those arms are out to the sides, and that's true when those palms are facing down. But when they're facing up, it's a little bit different. So this is safe to do. All right, and then as we reach those arms overhead, let's bend a little bit more and do it again. So now our head is lifting up and down in space, blasting out those inner thigh areas. Oh, breathing. Did I mention you're breathing? You guys look amazing. For 5, and 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then sweep those arms in front of you all the way down. Good job. Notice if you're able to feel a little more length between your ears and your shoulders after all of that work. And swing those arms from side to side. For 2, and 1, and come back to center. All right, guys, without further ado, let's come into a march, reaching those arms overhead. You might know where this is going. Coming into a little cardio blast. So if you wish, you can continue with that movement. You can come into a jog with a biceps curl. You can do jumping jacks. You can do burpees. You can take off and run the stairs. You can disco dance. So whatever feels good for you, but let's just get that body moving, get that blood flowing, get that oxygen, that good rich oxygen flowing in and out of the lungs, feeling an increased sense of urgency, just moving our bodies through space, whatever that looks like for you. A lot of times my students take off and run the stairs, or yeah, I love it. Breathing, I'm loving it, you guys. I see people running in and out of my screen. And breathe. Yep, just getting that heart rate up a little bit. By the way, so when you are moving your body and having a slightly difficult time speaking in complete sentences, but it's totally possible, but it's just a little taxing, you're in a really terrific fat burning heart rate zone. So just keep that in mind. That's a good trick, like when you're walking or hiking or something like that. Or like if you can whistle like happy birthday and it's a little challenging. Yeah, so definitely a little challenging. So I'm in that good heart rate zone right now. So those are little tricks to determine what kind of a heart rate zone you're in. And anytime we work with those arms overhead, it lends to increasing the heart rate more than if those arms are below the head. And the reason is when those arms are over the head, the heart has to work harder to pump blood up there over the head. So that's also something you can do. I've actually done studies wearing a heart rate monitor on myself. I did an experiment, and you can increase your heart rate just by sucking in your tummy, which is really cool. So I did that not I was hiking and walking, and I was noticing my heart rate, and then I would really suck in my tummy a lot, recruiting my core muscles, and sure enough, that heart rate went up. So that's kind of cool. All right, guys, and breathe. Just moving through space. Whew. What a nice thing to do on a Monday morning, huh? I know, super long set. We'll go just for about another 30 seconds or so. And breathe, just feeling those muscles, feeling the sillies. I don't know about you guys, but I remember when my kid was a toddler, I talked about, okay, just shake those sillies out. I kind of feel like we're all shaking the sillies out together on camera. It's kind of fun. All right, and we'll go just for about 5 more seconds, and 2, and 1, and find stillness. Notice how your body feels after that flurry of activity, and then let's swing those arms from side to side, and notice how your body feels. Do all of your joints feel lubricated? Do you feel an increased sense of urgency to breathe? Maybe you feel your pores opening a little bit. Maybe you feel a little bit glistening. For 2, and 1. All right, we are going to take this down to the mat. Keep those dumbbells nearby, and let's come to a seated, and then we'll come right down to a lying position, guys. So coming down to a lying position, place the fingertips behind the head, take a step apart with those feet, and drop both knees to the left. And just enjoy this stretch. And breathe, and enjoy the good feelings after that little cardio blast. And breathe for 3, and 2, and 1. Pivot those knees to center, and then pivot those knees over to the other side, and breathe. You know how we talked earlier about creating space between that bottom rib and that hip bone? Notice how in the stretch you're doing that, and you're also creating space between the muscles in this area. So you're like stretching them. So that feels really good. For 2, and 1, and come back to center. All right, guys. Then let's bring one knee into tabletop, lower, other knee into tabletop, lower. Continue alternating from side to side. Notice how that feels on your spine in your lower back area, and just enjoy that. And breathe. One knee into tabletop and the other knee into tabletop. And then, guys, the next time that right knee is in tabletop, pause. Keep that right knee in tabletop. Then unlace those fingertips from behind your head, lying your head flat. And then place your fingertips on your waist with the, so thumbs hooked around the waist with the other fingers lying, fanning across your belly. Suck in that tummy a lot. Notice if you feel those muscles. Take an inhale as you exhale. Kick that leg long and pause. Notice if you feel those muscles. Then let's take that straight leg, lower down and lift, and do it again and continue. Notice if you feel those muscles. If not, see if you can suck in your tummy even more, recruit those muscles to a greater degree, and then try to maintain that muscular engagement. I'm laughing because the music just came on. It's really low, so hopefully it doesn't bother you guys. All right, at any rate, it's Bob Marley. Bob Marley never bothers anybody. Okay, so just feeling this, trying to recruit the core muscles to facilitate this movement. That leg moving through space, guys, it's a tiny movement. So if you're having a really big movement, that is cool. That is a different thing. So go ahead and make it a small movement. And breathing with that small movement, feeling those quadriceps muscles, and then again, pressing those fingertips into your abdominal area. Are you able to feel those abdominal muscles working as you're going through this range of motion? Well, I am a lot, actually, plus those quadriceps are getting super tired. That is awesome because I'm sculpting my quadriceps muscles, and so are you, giving us those really nice defined leg muscles that make it look like we work out. For 3 and 2, and 1, and bend that knee. both feet flat. Notice how one thigh feels really different than the other, and maybe one side of your abdominal area feels different than the other side. So let's go ahead and balance that out. So hooking those thumbs around the waist again, fingertips fanning across your belly. Let's take the other leg and kick it out long. It's just hovering above the mat. All right, and then gently press those fingertips into your midsection. Can you feel those core muscles engaged? If not, recruit them. If you exhale loudly, like you're blowing out birthday candles, you will feel those muscles pop awake under your fingertips. All right, and then holding that recruitment, let's begin to lift and lower that straight leg. Hollowing out that belly. Navel is tucked to the spine. Breathing. That core goes all the way around the spine, guys. And we're using that core. We're using our muscles to recruit those core muscles to tighten them around the spine. Kind of like a corset. And breathe. I've often wondered if those words are related, core and corset. I kind of doubt it because they come from totally different ideologies, but wouldn't that be interesting? All right, breathing, hollowing out that belly. For 4, feeling those quadriceps muscles. And 3, quite a bit. And 2, and 1, bend the knees, both feet flat. Open those arms to a T, and then just take a feeling of rest. Windshield wiper those knees from side to side. For 3, and 2, and 1, and come back to center. Okay, guys, next, let's come into a Pilates V, heels up. Okay, so let me say this differently. Knees bent, heels down, heels together, toes apart, toes hovering, heels down, fingertips placed behind the head. Hollow out that belly. Navel is tucked to the spine. Take an inhale as you exhale. Let's hover that right foot just above the mat. Kick it out long, drag it back in, do it again, and continue. All right, so maybe it's a little bit easier for you to feel those core muscles maintaining this crunch position. By the way, let's talk about this crunch position. We'll continue this range of motion with the right leg. But in this crunch position, guys, I want the work coming from the midsection. That is different than that lifting the head, using the neck muscles to lift the head. So I purposefully want you to relax your head into your hands. Feel your head heavy. Feel the back of your skull pressing into your palms, supporting your head. Notice how that kicks the work a lot more into that midsection. Oh, and breathe. So Pilates is really cool because you can take a tiny movement like this, which you could do all day if you were not using your correct Pilates form and not think much of it. But when you tap into the Pilates ideology of controlling your movements, recruiting the muscles that you want to recruit, suddenly a simple move becomes much more challenging. Feeling this quite a bit. Head heavy in the hands for 3. By the way, feeling that inner thigh in this Pilates V. And 2. Woo, and 1. All right, both heels down, head down, and then let's butterfly those knees wide to the side. Soles of the feet together and gently rock from side to side. And breathe for 3. And 2. And 1, come back to center. All right, let's come back into that crunch position. Come back into your Pilates V. Hollow out that belly. We'll take that left leg, kick it long. It is hovering. And then tiny range of motion, begin to lift and lower that leg. If you look down and look at those muscles, guys, you can probably see those developed muscles because you guys have been with me doing this for a while. In fact, I had the opportunity to see one of you in person yesterday who I haven't seen in a long time. And holy cow, I was so impressed with her Pilates body. Yeah, so anyways, definitely this work pays off, these little tiny movements, and you are breathing. Oh, yeah. Feeling strong, looking good, hollowing out that belly. Is that head heavy in the hands?
Could it be heavier? Mine certainly could. So I'm going to focus on that. Yeah. Okay. So now suddenly the work in my midsection is like the volume has turned up because I'm purposefully relaxing my head into the hand. So again, that's using that mind-body connection to make an exercise harder. Because I know, again, that we could like do this all day long using poor form and not feel that much from it. Ooh, for 4 and 3. Looking so good, guys. So good, so strong. And 2. Oh, and 1. All right. Let's bring the soles of the feet together for head, neck, and torso down. Butterfly those knees wide to the side. And if you wish, you can gently rock from side to side. And breathe for 3, 2, and 1, and come back to center. All right, guys, then let's come back into the crunch position, navel tuck to the spine. We're just keeping those soles of the feet together and the knees open wide. All right, guys, from here, fingertips laced behind the head. Come into the crunch position. Relax the head into the hands. Take an inhale as you exhale, blow it out loudly. Recruit those core muscles, feel those core muscles, and then hold that engagement, hold that recruitment. Then take an inhale as you exhale. Let's lift both feet and tap and lift and tap and continue. If this is hurting your back, you can lift one foot and lower and the other foot and lower. In fact, I'm going to stick with that version today. My back has really been talking to me lately. And I'll tell you one thing, I am so glad I do Pilates. If I didn't do Pilates, I think I would be a disaster. In other words, I think I'd be in a lot of pain all the time. And even though I'm still in some pain, sometimes I think it's much less with Pilates. At any rate, I am listening to my body and modifying, still feeling this quite a bit. Breathing for 5 and 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower both feet down, head, neck, and torso down, and shimmy from side to side, going for that nice booty massage. For 3 and 2. All right, guys. And then let's drop both knees over to the left. Both knees to the left. Open those arms to the T. Those knees are stacked. The right booty cheek is hovering. And just enjoy the side body stretch, this rotation in your spine. For 3 and 2 and 1. All right, guys. Then remaining in this position with your feet together, take an inhale as you exhale, lift that top knee and lower, and lift and lower, and continue. All right, hollow out that belly. Place your hands on your right side body in the abdominal area. See if you can feel those muscles working to facilitate this movement. Do you feel any muscles working in your midsection? If not, can you recruit them? Oh, breathing, sucking in that tummy super tight, going for that tiny waist. Still feeling this nice twisty sensation. And in this stretch, we're recruiting muscles and relaxing muscles. So it's an interesting sensation. For 3, feeling the outer thigh as well. And 2 and 1. And then let's flip those knees up to center. And then drop those knees to the right. So let's stack those knees, stack those feet. That left booty cheek is hovering, arms open to a T. Just enjoy this stretch. And breathe. Take an inhale as you exhale. Begin to exhale loudly. See if you can feel these muscles in your waist area recruited. So recruit them, maintain that, then take an inhale as you exhale. Hover that knee and lower just the top knee, and breathe. And then you can place your fingertips in your waist area and see if you can feel those muscles recruited. Those muscles are taut in your waist, going for that tiny waist. Woo, and breathe, still enjoying the stretch. Hollowing out that belly. Breathing for 5 and 4, 3, Yep, enjoying the sensation, 2 and 1. And then pivot back onto your booty. Feet are flat. All right, guys. Then reach down. Remember those dumbbells that we brought with us when we lied down a long time ago? Let's go ahead and grab those dumbbells. Reach those arms into a goalpost position. One knee into tabletop. Reach the arms overhead. Lower that foot and then switch and switch and switch and continue. In just a moment, we're going to add to this, but if you wish, you can continue with this version. All right, guys, for 3 and 2 and 1, the next time both feet are flat, both elbows are down, pause. Okay, for this next sequence, keep your head down. Take an inhale as you exhale, lift those hips. Hips lifted, head down, then take an inhale as you exhale, one knee into tabletop, reach those arms overhead, lower and switch and continue. Now, if you wish, guys, you can continue with the earlier version of this exercise. Let's begin to be mindful of our form. As you place the foot down, place the toes of your foot down and then the ball in the heel and do it again. So you're placing your foot down, toe, ball, heel. And as you're doing that, try to keep your hips stable. So you're moving somewhat slowly through space, trying to prevent those hips from rocking and rolling. And of course, you can do this entire sequence with the hips down. All right, guys, breathing, navel tuck to the spine, hollowing out that belly. And again, even though this is a simple move and we could do this all day and not think much of it, when we use our Pilates mindset with our concentration and our control and our fluidity and our gracefulness, suddenly this becomes much more of a challenge. So I'm feeling this quite a bit. And breathe, hollowing out that belly, keeping those hips stable, finding that pelvic stability, keeping the head down. Just occurred to me that I'm probably not managing my tabletops very gracefully because I'm focusing so much on keeping my pelvis stable. And that's kind of the magic of Pilates as well, is just taking a simple move and making it so complicated that it becomes like whack-a-mole. So as you get one thing under control, something else gets all awry. Woo, for 4 and 3, 2 and 1, and lower those hips down, rest the arms at your sides, and notice how your back feels after that range of motion and after all of that stretching that we've done. Hopefully it feels pretty good. All right, guys, we're going to switch gears. So go ahead and press yourself up to a seated position and come to a side lying position. So I'm going to come down onto my head, resting on my hand. But if you wish, you can come onto your elbows. That is an option. You can also rest your ear on your bicep. All right. Then holding on to one of the dumbbells, let's bring that top knee towards the elbow. So we'll place the elbow behind the knee, both the knee and the elbow bent, navel tucked to the spine. Take an inhale. As you exhale, slowly kick everything long and then drag it back in and do it again and continue. Breathing, keeping that top shoulder away from the ear, which is hard because that ear wants to get all cozy with that shoulder, but we are actively preventing that. And breathe. Remember how we were talking about the core and recruiting all those core muscles? Begin to notice if you can feel those oblique muscles as you're going through this range of motion. And let's suck in that tummy. Again, thinking about that core like a corset, tightening that corset by not restricting, but not condensing. What's the word? Recruiting. By recruiting our muscles. All right. Oh, feeling this quite a bit for 4 and 3, 2. The next time everything is long, keep it long. All right. Pull that top shoulder away from the ear. And then let's lift and lower that leg. We'll just take a static hold with that arm. You can get rid of that dumbbell. at any time. You can also omit the arm and just place that, you can't really omit the arm because no matter what, you're going to have it, but you can place it down if you wish. So you can omit the arm exercise is what I meant to say. Oh, and breathe. Feeling this quite a bit in that backside of that top leg. Yep, quite a bit. Did I mention quite a bit? Are you still feeling those obliques? I certainly am. Hopefully you are too, because you are purposefully recruiting them for 4 and 3, 2. And the next time that leg is lifted, pause. Take that static hold in the leg. Let's reach that arm up to the ceiling and back down and do it again and continue. So now we're taking that static hold in the leg, moving the arm through space. So that leg should be talking to you because we just worked it and now we're still working it even though it's not moving. That is called an isometric contraction. For 3 and 2. The next time that arm is long, pause. All right, take an inhale as you exhale. Let's bend that knee in, bend the elbow behind the knee, kick it long, do it again, and continue. Notice how this feels different than it did a moment ago when we first started doing this exercise. Those muscles are fatigued. You are welcome. Notice how you feel that smile line area at the base of that top booty cheek, feeling that outer thigh, really feeling that oblique, and breathing for 4 and 3. Oh, this feels so good. I don't want to stop even though it kind of hurts. And 2 and 1. And then, guys, keeping everything bent in, let's bend that bottom knee, or rather bring that ankle up. Sorry, let me cue that differently. Bring that bottom foot up to the top foot, and then tuck the elbow into the waist. And then we'll lower and lift and lower and lift and continue. If you're swinging that dumbbell around, see if you can prevent that and move it slowly and purposefully through space, really feeling that top glute area, feeling the shoulder. By the way, less is more for this particular exercise with the arm. So if you wish, you can just get rid of that dumbbell at any time. The shoulder is the most movable joint in the body. It's also the most vulnerable. So we definitely want to take care of it. And breathe, feeling this quite a bit, hollowing out that belly for 4. Looking good, guys. And 3, happy as a clam. And 2 and 1 and rest. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's reach both arms forward. We'll just keep the legs as they are. Take that top arm up and over, coming into that side body stretch, which I'm going to modify. But for you guys, if it feels good for you, you can take your top shoulder down towards the mat and just enjoy that stretch. Yeah, for most people, this stretch would feel amazing after all of that work. For 4 and 3, looking good. You guys look like you're really enjoying the stretch. And 2 and 1. All right, flip over onto your back. Okay, looking up towards the ceiling. Grab those dumbbells. Palms facing in, navel is tucked to the spine, palms facing in, arms long, resting on the mat, down, our hands down by your hips. Okay, then let's bring one knee into tabletop, bend the opposite elbow into a biceps curl, and lower, and switch, and continue. All right, guys, adding on, begin to squeeze those armpits closed and hover those elbows just above the mat. This will give you a lot more bang for your buck for the biceps area. All right. And then finally, if you want more, go ahead and find stillness and pause just for a moment, keeping your head down. Take an inhale as you exhale, lift those hips, and then we'll start with both arms down. And then let's lift the opposite elbow and the opposite knee into a biceps curl. Tabletop for the lower body, squeezing those armpits closed, keeping that head down, breathing, feeling the strenuousness that we're creating. Again, even though we could go through this range of motion for a long time and not feel much, we're purposefully recruiting our muscles in such a manner that it feels rather taxing in a good way. And breathe for 4 and 3, 2 and 1. Lower that booty down and rest the arms. All right, guys. Then let's kick those legs out long. Reach those arms up to the ceiling. Navel is tucked to the spine. Take an inhale. As you exhale, roll up to a seated position, vertebrae by vertebrae. You guys look amazing. All right, I kind of tricked you. I didn't do that. Okay, I'm going to press myself up. Okay, from here, guys, place those hands behind you. This is a little bit of a tricky move. Notice where your head is and notice where your feet are. And then let's crab walk ourselves. So we're in the opposite position. And then lower that booty down. Yeah, super tricky, right? And then let's take a dumbbell and lie on our sides. So we'll do that little side body sequence on this side. So on the side, navel is tucked to the spine, one dumbbell in hand. Let's lift that top knee and reach the elbow behind the knee, kick it long and pull it in and continue. So remember, this got really taxing on the other side, but it started off not feeling like much. So notice if it's not feeling like much. Yep. All right, then let's begin to purposefully make this more challenging by sucking in that tummy, recruiting those core muscles, moving our body purposefully through space, trying to use energy, as much energy as possible as we're going through this range of motion. So it's natural for our body to use the least amount of energy possible. That probably goes back to like self-preservation and saving our energy in case, I don't know, saber-toothed tiger comes after us or something. But in Pilates, we want to override that natural tendency of our body's job of using the least amount of energy possible to make something as challenging as possible. All right, as I'm talking about this, I realize I'm totally forgetting to keep that top ear away from my top shoulder. So if you are as well, go ahead and remember that. Again, it's that whack-a-mole thing. I love it. Makes it so it never gets boring or easy. I was talking with a student yesterday about how advanced students sometimes enjoy taking the lower level classes because you can really focus on all this stuff. Oh, and breathe for 4. Feeling this quite a bit is that navel tucked to the spine. Are those core muscles tight around your spine, holding it in place? Is this still feeling easy? Not so much. And 2, and the next time everything is out long, pause. Okay, now if this is not feeling good for your body, you can omit the arm movement. And then let's lift and lower and lift and lower and continue. Whoa, already feeling this quite a bit. Feeling that booty area, feeling that outer thigh, feeling the static hold with the arm. And breathe. Oh, keeping that top shoulder away from the ear. And breathe. By the way, if your arm is getting tired too, if you just lift it straight up towards the ceiling, it'll be a little easier than if you have it angled over towards your head. Oh my gosh. Again, keeping that ear away from the shoulder, feeling this quite a bit. For 3 and 2. The next time that leg is lifted, keep it lifted. Static hold, talking to me. My booty cheek is talking to me. Yours probably is as well. And then arm only. Can you feel those oblique muscles? Raise your hand if you can feel those oblique muscles. Ha! Yeah, I know. I'm feeling it too. And breathe. Got my hand raised as well. Whoa, feeling this quite a bit. Holy cow. Navel tucked to the spine. Feel like we're all waving at each other. Hey, how's it going? For 4 and 3. Looking good, guys. And 2. And the next time that arm is long, pause. Remember what comes next? Let's bring the knee into the elbow. Kick it long. Do it again and continue. And again, remember how this was super easy when we started. Not so much anymore. Going for that strong backside area, that cute perky booty. Oh, and breathe for 4 and 3 and 2. You can take a rest at any time, guys, if this is starting to be too much. And the next time everything is in pause. Let's rest the arm and then remember what comes next. Let's take that bottom foot. We're going to lift it up and then we'll lower and lift, tucking that elbow into the waist. We'll lift and lift and lift and continue. Oh, and breathe. And remember, if this is not feeling great for your shoulder, get rid of the dumbbell, or you can come into a different range of motion. So always working in that pain-free range of motion. I'm in Southern California. It is cloudy today. It felt really cool. Not so much anymore. Yeah, so definitely my body is completely warmed up and humming along in a exercise mode. So yours probably is too. Just enjoy that for 3, and 2. Did I mention and 1? All right, lower those knees down. Keep those knees out from the hip. Keep those hips stacked and those knees stacked. Reach both arms forward. Take that top arm up and over. And if you wish, you can bring your top shoulder down towards the mat. And if you want even more, you can look over those far fingertips. Again, I am modifying. I'm not doing that, but I'm still feeling a really nice stretch and a little, just notice how your body feels after that flurry of activity. It always reminds me of when I'm surfing and I'm paddling out through a wave and I kind of go through a wave that's breaking, and then afterwards there's like a little bit of stillness before the next wave comes, and there's all these little fizzy pops in the salt water. That's kind of how it feels in my body after a session like that. All right, for 2 and 1. Nice job, guys. Flip over onto the back. Windshield wiper those knees from side to side. Oh, feel that really nice stretch. Feel that massage on the booty area. Navel tuck to the spine. Feel that nice stretch all the way up into that oblique area. If you press your booty into the mat, you'll get even more of a massage. So just take a moment here and enjoy that. For 3 and 2 and 1, and come to center. Okay, let's keep those legs out long. Navel is tucked to the spine. Reach those arms straight up to the ceiling. Let's take a moment lying flat and just flex those feet and point and flex and point. For 3 and 2 and 1, and then let's open those feet into a Pilates V. Open those arms out to the side, palms facing up, roundness in those arms, and then let's pivot those feet parallel and open and do it again. And as you're doing this, let's move our arms up towards the ceiling, hugging a tree, and then opening to the side. If this is bothersome for your knee or your hip, then certainly omit this. If this does feel okay, have those knees track over the toes. So in effect, the head of the femur is laterally rotating in the hip socket. So that's kind of an interesting thing. If you think about your skeleton, it's like you're purposefully moving the head of the femur in the hip socket, and the rest of the leg is going along for the ride. Enjoying that shoulder massage as your shoulders move over the mat, particularly if you're holding your chest muscles in an isometric contraction as you're going through this range of motion. In other words, you're making it as hard as possible. Woo, for 3 and 2 and 1, and then flop those feet open, open those arms, take a moment of rest, and again, notice that sensation, and breathe for 3 and 2. Sorry, this class is exiting now. And 1, and pause. Reach those arms up to the ceiling. Gaze between those fingertips. Feet parallel. Take an inhale. As you exhale, roll up to a seated position, coming all the way up to seated. Yeah, good job. You guys look beautiful. And then I'm going to press myself up. And then let's bend both knees to one side. Doesn't matter which. We'll switch in just a moment. Think about creating a right angle with your shins. And then let's take the hand down towards the knee that is out to the side. They're both to the side. We'll do it on both sides, so it doesn't matter which. Go ahead and place your hand down, lean over, and enjoy the stretch for 2 and 1, and come to center, other hand down, other arm up, lean over to the other direction, and 2 and 1, and come to center. All right, there's a really tricky move here that we can do. We're going to end up with our backs to each other, but it's kind of fun, so let's do it. Keep those feet where they are, place your hands down. Pivot those feet to center, and then just pivot those knees to the other side. I can see you guys in the mirror. Your legs are still in that right angle. If you lost it a little bit, go ahead and find it. And then go ahead and place one hand down, lean to that side. For 2 and 1, and come to center, other hand down, lean to the other side. For 2 and 1. Notice your good form. Notice your awesome Pilates body. Actually, maybe you can't because maybe you're not in front of a mirror like I am. For 2 and 1, and come to center. Place your hands down. It's always good to notice our work, guys, because so many of us women, we always pick out the negative. So it's good to focus on the positive. All right, guys. And then wherever those feet are, we'll do that tricky move back. Good job. All right, awesome work. And then let's just pivot ourselves onto all fours. There's one thing that we didn't do, and we're a little over time, but we're going to do it anyways. We'll just hold it for about 20 seconds. Let's come into a plank and breathe. Navel tucked to the spine. People frequently compliment my arms and my shoulders, and certainly everything we've done today helps to that. But I think that this is really where we get the most bang for the buck for creating that really nice defined arm area and shoulder area. Woo! For 3, looking so good, guys. And 2, straight line from the heel to the tush to the waist to the head. And 1, and then come into an inverted V position, also known as a downward dog, melting those heels down, and then walk your feet forward. Hands are hovering above the mat, standing on those legs, softness in the knees, head is heavy, and roll up vertebrae by vertebrae, coming all the way up. Bring those shoulders up, back and down, up, back and down. One more time, up, back and down. And I did keep you a couple minutes over in case anybody is on a tight time schedule today. Swing those arms one final time now, and notice how this feels completely different than at the beginning of class. Good job, guys. You worked hard for that sensation. I want to thank you guys for coming to class today. If you're joining me on YouTube, please like and subscribe and comment. Mwah! And thanks so much, guys.